My anxiety is like up to here right now. I just went out and tried to do a food shop, and for once I actually managed to find everything I needed. But the people in there, they were shouting at each other, shouting at the poor people working in the shop, and I just feel so anxious from it. I've been back for a couple of hours now, but I still feel super anxious, but I need to film this video today. I've already put my makeup on, so let's let the rats out and let them have a run around whilst we have a chat. In the 2 seconds I just got up to let the rats out, someone's already peed on my phone, which is lovely. Thank you for that. Say hello everyone. I hope you're doing good. I hope you're all okay. So hello guys, I hope you're all doing okay. I know you're probably sick of people talking about it and sick of hearing about it, but I feel like I do have to address it and talk about it. Most of the videos I've uploaded in the last couple of weeks have been videos that I've pre-recorded. I filmed most of March's videos last month, so I feel like I have to film this one and insert it somewhere in my schedule because a lot of people are talking about this, and I feel like I do kind of want to talk about it. Even though most of the videos I upload I want to be just a distraction and give you something to watch whilst you're stuck at home, but I did kind of also want to address it as well today. Crumble's biting the pom-poms on this hoodie. Why are you so hyper? You're getting so big. I weighed him yesterday and he's 540 grams. The other boys are like 400 and something, so I have a feeling he's going to be my biggest rat that I've ever had because he's already pretty big. You're not chunky, you're just a very big boy. Yes, you're a very big boy. So I hope all of you are doing okay given the circumstances. Hopefully not too many of you have been, sorry I'm so distracted by Crumble. I hope not too many of you have been directly affected by this, or you don't know anyone that is struggling with this at the moment. And I feel so bad for anyone that's lost their job or they've lost some of their income because of this. I know definitely in the industry that I'm in with pet sitting and dog walking, so many people are struggling at the moment because obviously everyone is working from home, they don't need dog walkers or pet sitters, and a lot of self-employed people are really struggling at the moment, so my heart goes out to you if that applies to you because it's definitely tough, especially not knowing how long it's going to be until it blows over. I've lost 50% of my income because I am a dog walker and a pet sitter as well as doing YouTube, and that has now completely stopped. I'm not obviously going into anyone's house and looking after their pets, especially with the lockdown, so yeah, that's tough. But on the plus side, I hope if you guys are stuck at home and you have your pets with you, you're spending a lot more extra time with them and bonding with them. I know with my boys and Crumble especially, every time I come into the room, even if it's only been 15 minutes, he's still so excited to see me, so that I guess is the plus side of being stuck at home, is being able to spend it with our pets and spend that extra time doing things we wouldn't usually do with them. And I just wanted to sit here today, answer a few questions you guys might have for me whilst the boys run around in the background and do their thing. So I feel like I needed some talking points for this video, otherwise I will just ramble on upon nothing. So I did ask you guys if you had any burning questions for me over on Instagram, and you guys came through, so I thought I'd answer some of those whilst the boys run around. I've tried to angle it so you can see them in the background, but I'm not too sure how well you're going to be able to, but they're there, they're going to be running around whilst I answer your questions. And the first one is, are you feeling any better? And yes, I feel perfectly fine now. I did talk about this, hang on, I need to go and get Crumple because he's currently trying to climb on a leaf insect enclosure, which is not ideal. So yes, I'm feeling fine now. I did talk about this quite a bit on Twitter and Instagram, so you're probably sick of hearing it, but if you don't follow me on there, a couple of weeks ago, I think it was about 2 weeks ago, I got really sick. Now unfortunately in the UK they did stop testing people for the virus. I can't say the actual name of the virus because for some reason YouTube is demonetizing any videos that actually mention the name of it, so we're just going to go with the virus. But they stopped testing for that in the UK pretty much at the start of March, so I never actually got officially tested, but I am 90% sure I had the virus. I had every single symptom and I've never had anything like that before. Obviously I've had the flu before, and I can say what I had was nothing like that at all. I did feel so different, and it was honestly such a rough couple of days. I feel perfectly fine now. It did only last about 4 or 5 days for the actual symptoms, but I'm 90% sure I did have it. So I guess we'll never know, but I did feel so rough, and yeah, it wasn't fun. But yeah, thank you for asking. I do feel fine now. I think I do feel a little bit tired still, but that's nothing unusual. I feel tired most days. But for the 4 days I had the really bad symptoms. So I did have a temperature that was going all the way up to about 40 degrees Celsius. I was really short of breath, even just going to the bathroom really made me out of breath, and I had to then go back to sleep. I pretty much slept for 3 days. I didn't eat a single thing, barely drank anything, which I know isn't good, but I just didn't have the energy. And I did also have like a fever, and I was just sweating, and then I was cold, and I also had aches and pains. Even my clothes on my skin was really painful, so that wasn't a fun 4 days, but I did come out the other end of it perfectly fine. Obviously I self-isolated, and I've been in self-isolation ever since, but I'm 90% sure that's what it was. I'll never know because they never tested me, but it wasn't fun. Moving on to some more lighthearted questions. Drawing Me Kitty asks, when are you getting a cat? And I'm not entirely sure. Obviously this has been put on hold because of the whole virus thing. The UK at the moment is on lockdown, so we can't go into anyone's household. We also can't go into rescues. They have stopped adoptions in most rescues. I think some are also not taking in any animals that also need to come into the rescue, which is a shame, but that has been completely put on hold. I also don't think at this current moment I'd really want to adopt a cat. I think I'd be too worried about not being able to find things like cat litter with everything going on. So as fun as it would be to have a quarantine cat to keep me company, I don't think now is the right time. Maybe a couple of months after all of this blows over, but obviously with me losing 50% of my income, I do want to make sure I'm in a good position to support my cat and spoil them, so I have no idea when that's going to be. Hopefully still sometime this year, but for now it has been put on hold. I have no idea how to pronounce your username, but they've asked, I was told that Rex fur types are much rougher to the touch than any other. Is that true? This does depend on the individual rat. I've had really soft Rexes, which was Rolo and also Badger, and then on the other hand I've had Rexes that were so rough. The comparison that I compare them to I'm not going to say on here because I will probably get demonetized, but I've had really rough Rexes. Sprout was quite rough and like wiry, and it does depend on the individual rat. Some Rexes are soft, some Rexes are on the more rougher side. It does depend on the individual rat. Madison asks, if you could change one thing about each of your rats, what would it be? And is it bad that immediately I knew what I would change about each one? Like it came to my mind immediately. With Moose, I would change the fact that he is so obsessed with feet. He loves to bite feet whether you've got socks on or not. He is obsessed with biting your feet. So I would change that about him because obviously it's not nice. It does really hurt, so I would change that about him. With Crumble, the thing I would change about him obviously is the fact that he is not the nicest towards other rats. I will hopefully be changing that very soon. Obviously with the whole situation going on at the moment, vets are only really taking emergencies, but I'm still hoping to get him neutered. He has calmed down a little bit. He's not injured Humbug since, but that is obviously the thing that I would change about him. With Humbug, the thing that I would change is the fact that he is quite a drama queen. I know what Crumble does to him sometimes isn't nice, but he is still very dramatic, and I don't think that helps. So I would change the fact that he is quite a dramatic rat. Crumble, please get out of the printer. So Amelia asks, what is the most interesting pet you've had or you would like to have? And honestly, I think the most interesting pet, personally, that I think I've had is my leaf insects. I find them so fascinating and they're just so interesting to watch. So I think they're the most interesting that I have had. The most interesting that I'd like to have in the future is a flower beetle. I'll insert a picture on screen. I would love to have a couple of flower beetles. Super random, I know, but I've seen them in like zoos and stuff, and you can get them as pets. So I think that would be the next interesting pet that I'd like to have, is a flower beetle. I am actually really into invertebrates. I know they're not for everyone, but I would like to own more insects in the future. After we come out of isolation, do you want to go... Crumble, do you want to go anywhere particular? Honestly, I know this sounds super boring, but the first thing on my mind isn't like travelling. I don't really have any plans to travel this year. I am trying to save up money to buy a house, so I can't really afford to go on any holidays or anything, as much as I'd like to, and I also don't like leaving my pets. The only thing I want to do as soon as we come out of isolation is drive home, see my family, see my parents, see my grandparents. I miss them so much. I miss them anyway because I do live far away from them, but having not been able to see them during this time has been hard, so as soon as this isolation period is lifted, I'm driving straight there to see them. And also my dog, my family dog Casper. I really want to see him too, so that is definitely first on my list. Are you married or in a relationship? Nope, I'm not married as much as I'd like to be, but I am in a relationship. I've been in a long-term relationship with my boyfriend for over 4 years now. Do you work anywhere else other than YouTube? So I kind of already mentioned this at the start of the video, but I do also do dog walking and pet sitting. That's like the other 50% of my time. I do also have my online store where I sell pet supplies, and that also, I guess, is kind of a job. But I would ideally like to have another job at like a company where I could work part-time and do that alongside YouTube. I would really like to do that instead. Crumble is about to spill my drink. I would really like to do that as well as YouTube. I do get a bit bored of being stuck at home, and as much as I am an introvert, I would like to work with other people and also animals. So that has been one of my goals this year. I have started to apply to a couple of jobs. Obviously with everything going on at the moment, I've not heard anything back, and I was waiting until I had a car so I could drive myself to the jobs. Now that I have a car, obviously we're on lockdown, we can't go anywhere, so I'm just kind of waiting for this to all blow over to then try and have a little bit of a career change. Kiana asks, did you have a gateway critter that kick-started your passion for animals? And I wasn't too sure about this at first, but then I realised I did. When I was born, my parents had like 2 or 3 rabbits, and obviously as a baby I would like follow those around. Also my grandparents had a lot of cats, and I was obsessed with the cats. They were like my little best friends. I would follow them everywhere, I would pretend that I was a cat, I would even try to eat the cat food, so I was brought up around rabbits and cats, and I think that did kickstart my love for animals. So yeah, I think I'm going to stop there, otherwise this video is going to get really long, even though none of us have anything really better to be doing right now. But I just hope that all of you guys are okay and you're not being too affected by this. I am trying to upload a couple more videos than I usually do, just to keep you guys entertained, so make sure you're looking out for those. Turn on the notification bell if you want to see any of the extra videos. I do post every single Sunday, but I will be posting throughout the week as well. I have also started doing live streams again. I do intend to do a couple more just to keep you guys entertained during this period of being stuck at home. I want to try to talk to you guys and keep you entertained as much as possible, but the main thing is I hope all of you are doing okay and you're all staying inside and doing as you're told. If you like this video and you'd like to see more animal related videos like this one, please make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye! He's gone.